Hello, love. It's Kat here. Welcome into your April predictions, pick a card reading, and astrology energy update, loves. So, in today's video, we will be pulling cards from this lovely deck here for our pick a piles. We'll draw out 4 individual cards, and then you will select which card is most calling out to you. And I'll, of course, have some timestamps listed in the description box down below for you to be able to jump directly to the beginning of your reading and receive your insight and predictions for what to expect during this month of April. However, of course, before we get into our pick a card piles and our readings today, let's talk a little bit about the astrology of the month. All right, loves. So I am a little late with this reading because we had that full moon in Libra on the 1st of April, and so I was really busy. I started sharing the full moon and new moon energy healing candle sessions once again, and they had an upgraded element to it, so my focus was really on trying to bring those offerings back that I completely missed the ball with getting out the month ahead predictions for the month of April, but we've still got 20-30 days left in this month, so let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Okay, so we did have that full moon in Libra on the 1st, and this was a very beautiful, very powerful full moon right now, because right now we're sort of in this very unique portal where we have no planets in retrograde. All planets are direct. They're all moving in forward motion as we are used to seeing them, okay? And what this signifies is that right now, there's not a lot of deep inner reflection that needs to happen, because usually when a planet goes retrograde, it means that there's something that's kind of being trudged up from beneath the surface that we need to reflect on, we need to meditate upon, and then we need to integrate those reflections and those lessons and experiences that retrograde stirred up from beneath the surface, and then move into that energy of taking that forward action. Okay, but right now we have no planets in retrograde. There's nothing to reflect on. Right now we have this beautiful, clean slate to create upon, to build whole new, complete foundations. So this time is really about taking that forward action, and there's not a lot of like moments in between for these deep introspective periods of reflection. All right, and so this full moon in Libra was about a huge release in some aspect of your life that felt really off balance, that felt as though it was weighing you down. And of course, with this being in the sign of Libra, there was a focus on relationships with other people, relationships with beliefs, relationships with perspectives and views that you held on about yourself or about others, or about, entire systems or what have you. Okay, so this full moon in Libra was a big reset of letting go of things that were really weighing you down, things that felt really out of balance. And so over the next few days, this little portal that we're in right now after that full moon energy is about the integration of what it is that you've released, and now it's about taking those steps forward. Now that you've let go of that thing that's weighing you down, now you can move forward into this whole new chapter, this whole new period of your life to begin something new. And not just begin something new in the sense of like, yeah, I'm going to start this and then I'm going to push it to the side. This is like you're setting something into motion now that's going to take precedence in your life for the next few years. I'm hearing like next 6 to 7 to 8 years. So this is a big leap that you may be feeling called to move forward into. And remember that you're just at the beginning stages of this process. Some of you may be aligning with moving forward with action steps and aligning to a path or new relationships, new connections that you've been meditating on for quite some time, maybe months and months and months, maybe years and years and years, but you haven't had the energy, or you just didn't feel like it was the right time to move forward with this dream of yours, this vision of yours. But now the time is right, and this is the moment where you feel ready to move forward with something and to start laying down those bricks to build a strong, sturdy foundation so you can continue building from that platform, from that foundation, and it can flourish into something very supportive, something very successful, something that's very reciprocal and providing back to you just as much as you're giving to it. But I'm also seeing that just through you allowing yourself to say yes to this journey and to commit to it, to start walking upon that path, exploring it, connecting with it, and learning from it, that in itself will, it feels like that in itself will be enough for you, okay? It's just that, you know, with that full moon in Libra, you had to let go of all that stuff that wasn't allowing you to step onto this path, step onto this journey that you've been meditating upon, that you've been wanting to align with, that you've been wanting to connect with, okay? All right, so then we kind of went into a little channeling bubble there. Thank you. But let's get back to the astrology. So then on April 9th, we have Mars entering into the sign of Aries. So we're also in Aries season in the beginning of the month of April. The sun is in the sign of Aries. We've got some planets in Aries. We've got Saturn in Aries. And we've got Venus in Aries as well. Okay, and so Mars is entering into Aries on the 9th, and then we have Mercury also entering into Aries on the 14th. So that is, I think, 5 planets plus the sun in the sign of Aries. And so when Mars moves into the sign of Aries, this is going to allow you to go full steam ahead. All right, that first week of April, second week of April, things may still feel a little slow. You still may feel as though you're processing what you've released with the full moon energies. You're still taking your time to start taking those steps forward to aligning with this path that you're wanting to really align on. You're not quite yet in it. You're still maybe teetering in between worlds, realms, connections. You're still teetering on the edge, kind of have one foot hanging over the ledge, one foot still safely and supported in that old world, in that comfort zone. But come the midweek of the 5th, when Mars enters Aries, Mercury enters Aries, you're going to get that push. All right, something or someone or yourself is just going to dive right in, and you're going to receive the energy that you need to be able to go full steam ahead with whatever it is that you are hoping to align with, that you're hoping to connect with, that you're hoping to move away from, and what you're wanting to move towards. And so it's going to be very, very busy, all right, where there may be things that felt very stagnant, that felt very lacking, and it may have felt that way because you just didn't have the energy to be able to provide those spaces with the attention or the action that was required from you to create momentum in those spaces that felt very stagnant, that felt very lacking. And so when Mars enters into Aries, you'll have that energy and you'll be able to do things in spaces where you felt you didn't have the resources or you didn't have the means, you didn't have the energy to do those things. All right, so those things that you keep putting on the back burner, just saying you'll get to later, those things are going to come up to be dealt with, and you'll have the energy to deal with them. You'll be able to locate the resources and come up with solutions to be able to deal with those issues. Now, another thing that may come up with Mars entering into Aries, Mercury entering into Aries in that second and third week of April is there could be some heavy tension, some conflict arising between you and other people. There could just be some heavy emotions of anger, tension, triggers coming up from within yourself in response to things in your external world, or things that like other people are saying to you, or things that other people are doing. So this is just something to be very mindful of, be cautious of. If you are able to, you find yourself getting a little bit heated, warmed up by something, getting triggered by something, this is your sign to just take a step back. Check in with yourself. Ask yourself, where is this anger coming from? Where is this conflict rising from within yourself? What does it mean for you personally? and what can you do about it? Is there something that you can do about it? Okay, so if it's coming from within you, that's your sign to just slow down, take a breath, tune into where this is coming from internally, and ask yourself how you can transmute this or how you can come up with solutions to heal this. All right, if this is coming from something that's outside of you, Spirit's coming in and they're saying like you may need to tap into that inner confidence and face it head on, but just Spirit's kind of reminding you that you don't want to face tension with tension. All right, so if you are getting heated, somebody else is heated, come back into yourself, take a moment, catch your breath, and then when you're ready and able to come back to connect with the other individual or individuals that are involved in this situation with coolness, all right, with clarity around how you want to move forward or what you want to say about this situation, then you can go forth and address it. All right, but boundaries is really being highlighted here. Some of you may be learning some lessons around boundaries with this Mars and Mercury entering into the sign of Aries and just being in Aries season in general. All right, so working on boundaries. So we may get triggered over the course of this month because we are needing to address boundaries. All right, we're learning lessons around how to face difficult situations that are triggering and how to assert boundaries with clarity and confidence. All right, so then on April 17th, we have the new moon in the sign of Aries, and it's going to be concurrent with the sign of Taurus there. All right, so more Aries energy coming in, and new moons are all about planting new seeds. We're starting a new 28-day cycle here. So this is a great time to create any new plans that you have for yourself, specifically plans for like foundations. All right, so like business plans for like a home base. If you're like wanting to build something like physical objects that you're wanting to build that provide you with a sense of comfort or a sense of like beauty, like if there's things that you're wanting to build that have this aspect of appearance to it, this is a great time to start mapping out and planning how you're going to create or build that. Okay, so some examples is like, you want to design your home, so like interior design work. This is a great time to kind of map out and plan how you want to create that sense of beauty within your home. Or maybe you do like content creation and you want to like design how your videos are going to look, like how your backgrounds are going to look, or how you're going to show up, like how you're going to appear in these videos. But it's connected to this energy of like beauty and comfort. Like how can you make this space feel aesthetically pleasing to the eye, but also comfortable to be in and kind of inviting to, maybe like viewers or clients or people that are going to come into these spaces and sit with you and communicate with you. All right, so really that was like a channeled message coming in, really off the wall message there, but really beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit, for that message. Let's see if anything else comes up with this new moon in Aries and Taurus. Also, just, great time to set new intentions for what you're wanting to experience and move forward with over the next 28 days. And then something else coming through. Oh, it's about taking action steps as well. So because we're in that portal where we have no retrogrades right now, the planets are direct, this new moon, you can write out your plan, write out your business plan, but then Spirit's saying like take one step to set this into motion. All right, because they're also saying like these plans that you're going to be creating around this time, they're things that you've already envisioned for yourself. They're things that you already kind of mapped out and planned, and so now they're saying it's time to initiate those plans with actual physical action, whether that's through like making a call to the people who are going to design this, going out to the store, buying those materials, talking to other people about the things that you're looking for, asking them if they have these tools or resources, like actually starting to get the ball rolling on whatever it is that you're wanting to set into motion. Okay. All right, so then on the 19th, we have the sun entering into the sign of Taurus. Taurus season, things are going to get cozy, they're going to get fun, they're going to get a little comfortable, a little bit more laid back. We're still going to be in that portal of wanting to move forward with something, but there's just going to be a more exciting element of fun. Okay, Aries season, things are going to be very, very serious, very direct, very serious. But come Taurus season, things are just going to get a little bit more laid back, a little bit more chill. You'll be like, yeah, it's okay. If it didn't work out today, we'll try again tomorrow. It's okay if it didn't work out right now, we'll try again. We'll try again in a couple hours. Let's take a little break. Let's ponder. Let's allow the solutions to come to us. There's not like a lot of force that's happening. There's more of this energy of flow and just trusting in the sense of redirection. Okay. All right. And then we have Venus entering into the sign of Gemini on the 23rd. And then we also have Uranus entering into the sign of Gemini on the 25th. Okay. So with Venus entering into Gemini on the 23rd, that's going to be there. So Venus is a very quick cycle. She's usually only in her signs for about 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah. So she'll move into the sign of Cancer on May 18th. Okay, so about a little more than a month. But what I'm seeing here with Venus and Gemini is, so Venus is the planet of love and relationships and beauty. And with this entering into the sign of Gemini, we're going to have a little bit of like this dual-sided energy where you're going to be wanting to, so there's some like cautionary messages coming in here where it's like you're going to, some of you may want to be pulling more into yourself, but then there will be days where you really want to go out and be social. But Spirit's just coming in with this reminder to understand that Venus in the sign of Gemini is trying to help you find a balance between, like introversion versus extroversion. So like we want to make sure that we're not being too introverted, make sure that we're not being too extroverted, and that we have a sense of balance when it comes to, putting ourselves out there, socializing with other people, and then also taking time to come back into spaces of reflection and just spending time with yourself as well. Okay, so just something to be mindful of as Venus enters into the sign of Gemini, and that will be from April 23rd till May 18th, I believe. Yes. Okay, so there will be a little bit of like this give and take energy that you're going to be battling with when it comes to your sense of like socializing and networking and going out and wanting to stay in. All right, so like if you get invitations to go out, we're saying take them. If you have a moment to take a day off, take them. But just like don't overdo it is what they're saying. Don't go too far into one, don't go too far into the other. All right. And then Uranus entering into Gemini. This is a really unique transit that we're going to be experiencing with Uranus and Gemini. Let's see what's coming up with this. This is going to be, okay, so I remember, so Spirit was saying that with this transit, and with us being in the season of Taurus by the 25th, you're going to be receiving, like when you come up on experiences of conflict and struggle, debates, you're going to be receiving very unique insight and wisdom and knowledge as to how you can overcome these challenges. Like you're just going to be gaining new wisdom, coming up with very creative solutions, very unique ways of doing things that have almost like never been done before. So during this transit, we might see a lot of new trends coming out, hearing about ways that people found themselves in challenging circumstances and how they overcame them. There's just going to be a lot of really unique insight as to how we can solve different problems that you may be experiencing as an individual or even as a community, and maybe even on a global scale a little bit too, where there's just going to be a lot of unique insight into how things are being done in the sense of, fixing problems, fixing challenges, overcoming them, and versus like changing how things have been done into ways that are more supportive and actually fixing the problem or actually bringing a sense of healing to them. And so with that transit as well, knowledge is going to be highlighted a little bit. So some of you may be shifting gears a bit, wanting to take classes and things that you didn't necessarily think you would want to be taking courses in. So an example I'm getting is like maybe you are like a hairstylist, and hairstylists essentially, they, for the most part, they kind of run their own business. If you want to find clients, you have to put yourself out there, promote to find your own personal clients. But maybe you're deciding to, instead of take cosmetology classes, like maybe that's something you always did, you decide to pivot a little bit and take a business course to strengthen your business skills for your, cosmetology work, for your like hairstyling business work. Okay. And then, maybe when you're in the business classes, you come up with creative new ideas to develop a business in some other way than how you're currently, running your business or operating your business. So instead of like just doing people's hair, maybe you decide to come up with a product for people's hair and start to market and sell it instead of just cutting hair. Okay, so something like that, where like you'll be guided to do something that's connected to something you're already doing, but then from there it's going to create like this little ripple effect to taking you down a different, very unique path than what you had expected. All right, loves, so that is it for the astrology of the month. Thank you for listening and tuning into that. If you stuck around, I know these get a little bit long, but we were channeling some messages of insight, very beautiful insight there. So thank you if you stuck around. Now let's get to the part that we're all waiting for, the pick a card piles. So these are going to be our predictions and insight for the month of April. So let's go ahead and pick our piles now. So let's see. I'm going to draw 4 piles today. All right, so pile 1. All right, Spirit's actually telling me to draw our piles a little differently today. So we're going to go pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. All right, so let's see if you'd like to choose your pile before seeing what's on the back of the card. And we're not going to do crystals today. We're just going to do the cards today. So if you'd like to pick with your intuition before seeing what's on the other side of the card, go ahead and take a moment now to pick your card. And there is timestamps in the description below. But if you'd like to stick around and see what's on the other side, let's go ahead and see now. Oh, this one's upside down. Here, let's turn it. All right, so let's see. Pile 1, inspiration. All right, pile 1, you have inspiration. All right, pile 2, we have confidence. Pile 2, confidence. Pile 3, compassion. Wow, we have some beautiful, beautiful theme cards here today for April predictions. All right, in pile 4, we have travel. Pile 4 with travel. All right, love, so those are our pile choices for today. Go ahead and pick the card that's most calling out to you. And once again, there's timestamps in the description box down below. And I'll see you in your reading. Hello, pile 1. Welcome into your reading, love. So if you chose the card inspiration, this is your reading. All right, love. So today we are tapping in to see what messages of insight and guidance you need to help you throughout the month of April. We'll tap in and see if we can get some predictions on what you may be experiencing as well. So we are going to start off by pulling your tarot cards, and we are using the Tarot of Tales deck today. And then, of course, we'll use some oracle cards later on just to get some deeper clarity and guidance. All right, we'll take this card here. Let's see. Just pile one need to know. All right. Let's see. All right, so we have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords. And we've got, five, the Hierophant. All right, fives are going to be your number for the month of April, which may also signify that what happens for you in this month of April with this inspiration card, Five of Swords here. We're going to get into the message, but there is this energy that you're shifting gears a little bit. There's something that you may be going through or have gone through in the past that had this very heavy energy attached to it, very painful energy. It doesn't necessarily mean just painfully emotionally, but it may have been like just really mentally painful as well, maybe physically painful. You to exert a lot of time, energy, and attention into something, and it's something that just felt very heavy, very draining, and it's something that you didn't necessarily want to move through, but you're coming into this realization that you can essentially make flowers from the dirt, make flowers from the crap that you had to go through, and you're now allowing that heavy situation to inspire you to create some kind of change from it. Okay, so let's go ahead and uncover the rest of your cards, but your messages are already coming in. All right, so we have Queen of Cups, Queen of Cups, and then we have the Sun, 19, the Sun. All right, beautiful energy we're unveiling here, and then we have the Three of Swords. Three of Swords. All right, so so there's something really magical about a really shitty situation. Like you've been going through, you've gone through something. Not you've been going through it, but you've gone through something. And for some of you, this is going to be different in terms of like the sense of time that's connected to it, but for some of you this could be about like a belief that you've been holding on to about yourself, where you've been viewing things from a very specific perspective, that things are just, not working out in your best interest, or you've been connected in relationships with another person or multiple people who just really bring down your energy. And then there could just be a very painful experience that happened, something that you went through that required a lot of energy and effort from you. Like I said, a lot of emotional energy, a lot of mental energy, a lot of physical energy, and it was just very, very heavy. And so it's going to be different for every single one of you in terms of like what the specific situation is, because this is a public reading, so just take what resonates here. But it's like you're turning this really shitty situation into a means of inspiration, and how you do that is what's going to be different for everyone. So for some of you, you're realizing that you're no longer going to be allowing yourself to get caught up in these narratives, or to get caught up in these belief systems, or to stay connected to these connections, to these people that just bring you down. You're using this as like ultimately a catalyst. Like there's a realization that's happening right now, and you're using that realization as a means to inspire yourself to jump out of that energy and to move forward into situations and connections and experiences that are very positive, that just allow you to feel good again, that allow you to follow your own inner light and to stop listening to all the people around you that are telling you you can't do something, that are weighing you down, that are just being very negative in their own life and how it's affecting you personally. And also the other message that was coming through around that too is you're realizing that you are not allowing your external circumstances, your external environment to dictate how things are going to be for you now and moving forward. Okay, so if you've been kind of looking at things from that energy of glass half empty, just feeling really down on yourself about where you're at or how things are going or how things have been, you're starting to flip the cup around and you're just affirming to yourself all the positive things that are actually happening to help get you out of those spaces, those perspectives, those beliefs, those connections into something that just feels a little bit more freeing, a little bit more lighthearted. And so with those fives coming up, that first message around the fives there, you're just now setting these things into motion. You may also want to listen to the astrology update that I shared in the beginning of this reading if you haven't, because we talked about how right now we're in this portal where none of the planets are retrograde. They're all moving in the motion of being direct, the motion that they're generally in this sense of moving forward. And so this is the time where we're really being given the ability to create a whole new foundation for ourselves and to actually take the action steps to be able to lay down these strong, solid foundations that are going to be able to support you in the foreseeable future for the next couple years. And Spirit was saying like 6 to 7 to 8 years. And so just remember that you're just now beginning to take the steps forward to get yourself out of those spaces that felt really heavy, that felt really dense. And so you may not start to see the actual results of what you're laying down right now until next month, May, which is actually a very quick turnaround if you think about it. So it's only a month's time. And so you'll start to see those results come the month of May. Now with this Three of Swords energy here, I do see that there are other people involved in this journey that you're on, okay? This could be why you haven't allowed yourself to move forward with this, is because the people that you are connected with always have something to say. They're always like arguing with you. They're always like debating with you or challenging you on things that you want to do for yourself, on things that you want to do just about anything in general. There's just always putting up a fight. And so, let's see if we can get a little guidance on that. What can we do about this, Spirit? I feel that this is something that you're wanting to move away from, but you might quite not know how. So let's see if we can get some guidance on this. Is there anything Pile One can do to address this, to heal from this, move away from this? We have Two of Wands. And we have 20 Judgment. Okay, so we've got the twos there. Okay, so you're being given a choice to move away from these connections. Like you're already thinking this too. I think some of you are pondering whether or not moving away from this connection, from this energy, is the right thing to do or not. And with that too, with the Judgment here too, Spirit's saying to ultimately allow yourself to be released of any judgments that you hold on to about this person, and to also relieve yourself of believing any judgments that they have about you or about others, about situations, experiences. So there's like this energy of judgment here. I'm seeing that a lot of the challenges and fights that you have with this other person or this individual, it stems from this energy of judgment. It's like they're judging you, and so in return you like judge them back for judging you. And so there's this need to just allow yourself to dissolve and let go and release yourself of the binds that this energy of judgment has over you and over this relationship. Okay, they are who they are, and you cannot make them see any differently. And you are who you are, and they're not going to be able to make you see any differently. And so it's really on you, okay, because you're not going to be able to allow them to guide them to change their perspective, all right? You're not going to be able to make them see things from a different point of view, because they're just not ready. They're not ready, all right? And so it's on you to allow yourself and give yourself permission to release yourself from the binds of the judgments that they have implicated upon you and the judgments that you've implicated upon them, and to just bring your focus back to yourself and to doing what's best for you. And I know this is so much easier said than done, especially if there are like family ties in this connection, or this is like a spousal relationship, or a parent to child relationship. It can be very challenging. Okay, maybe it's like your boss, you know, somebody that you just have to see day in and day out. But that's why we have that energy of you trying to move away from this connection as well. That may be the best path forward for you, because it will allow you to take the time that you need to process and dissolve yourself from those judgments that you've been holding on to about the judgments that they've been implying onto you about yourself. Okay, and so it's really like you're coming into this energy of, again, you know, tapping into your own inner light and really finding your own voice and learning what it means for you, what it means to you. When it comes to yourself, you know, it's like you're no longer listening to what other people are telling you to believe, to think, to feel, to do about yourself. You're deciding for yourself, but it comes from allowing yourself to move away from those connections where their voices are louder than your own voice, and to take a new path so that you are able to discover the truth of your own wisdom, of your own truth, and really allowing yourself to align with spaces and experiences and connections that will allow you to thrive, that will allow you to feel good, that will allow you to feel supported. But you won't be able to do that as long as you're connected with these relationships where they're asserting dominance over you and not allowing you to take up space in the same spaces that they are. It's like they're just like really overbearing, and they're just very dominating over you, and you're just kind of sick of it. You're sick of it, and it's time to move on and move forward so that you can make these claims about yourself for yourself, and you're no longer listening to these falsities that they're projecting onto you. Because the things that they argue with you about, the things that they try to convince you to believe about yourself or about specific situations, again, it has nothing to do with you. It's everything to do with them and their own beliefs and their own perspectives. It's just that you've been connected with them for so long that you're unable to see whether or not that's a truth that you want to hold on to or not. But with this Five of Swords here and just the overall message and energy that we've been tapping into, it's that it really feels like you don't even know if those are things that you really want to believe in, but it also feels like it's not something that you necessarily want to believe in because it brings you down. It just like weighs so heavily on you. You see it as something that's wrong, as something that's not right or true to you, and how you want to be operating or how you want to be showing up in your connections, in your world, in your environment. Okay, loves. All right, so let's go ahead and pull some oracle cards. Let's see what we got from the Oracle of the Mermaids, which I love that I haven't used this deck in quite a while, and I love that your card inspiration, the lady on there looks like a mermaid. I don't know that she is, but it looks like she has like a mermaid tail right there. Alright, so let's see. Alright, so we have honor the masculine, respecting men, embracing the masculine divine, and this is number 10. Okay, we also have 37 with visions, psychic images, clairvoyance, seeing, out of body travel. And we have 42 with wave of power, a surge of power, upswing in energy, and exhilarating movement. Okay, so I'm getting a couple different messages here. So we're shifting a bit in overall messages, and we're getting some more specific guidance with these individual cards here. So first, with Honor the Masculine, this is going to be for somebody very specific. I'm getting this energy around like almost like the patriarchal concept, where like somebody is trying to like fight the patriarchy here and bring change to the whole paradigm of patriarchy. And so what Spirit's coming in and saying is, it's almost like you're very much against this energy of masculinity and men in general. And so like I'm almost seeing that like when you see this card that says respect men, embrace the masculine divine, it's like creates this energy of cringe where you're just like, F them, I don't want to respect a man. And so what's coming up with this here, pile one, is we have to understand that no matter what you identify with, like being a feminine being, being a masculine being, being a woman, a man, they, them, she, he, we all have masculine and feminine qualities within us. And it wasn't just men that created the paradigm of the patriarchy. All of us created it, okay? Every single one of us. Like, it exists because we all allow it to exist. And so there's like, so Spirit's coming in and they're almost saying like there's this need to acknowledge and accept like the role that you played in kind of creating that paradigm. And yes, okay, that's what they're saying. And they're also saying, they're using the example of the patriarchy specifically with this masculine card here, but this can also be applied to like the relationship that we talked about here with the Three of Swords, where there's like a relationship in your life that that there's a lot of debate and challenge within, but in order to bring healing to this connection and to allow yourself to move away from it, you have to acknowledge and accept the part that you played in that relationship as well. We can't just place blame on the other individuals or on the system as a whole, because we have to take responsibility in the part that we played in allowing it to get to that point as well, okay? And so for somebody very specific, that example of patriarchy came in here, because it's like you keep trying to do something very specific when it comes to getting others to see your point of view or your perspective, but Spirit's saying like there's a bit of an inability to actually get through to others because you're not allowing yourself to put yourself in this energy of acceptance and acknowledgement for the part that you played, and also believing in this or allowing it to happen in some way. And this is this is a really big topic of conversation, and I'm not going to be able to lay it all out in this reading here, but they just wanted me to share that. We have 144 on the clock here. They just wanted me to share that message as like an example and to help you deepen your perspective a little bit, and like why things may not quite yet be landing is because it's like put yourself in the other person's shoes, okay? So very, very specific message there, but I don't want to get too far into that because it is a little bit political here. And we're going to circle back around to another message that was coming through with the masculine here too, which is, we all have that energy of divine feminine and divine masculinity. And there's this need to really hone in and honor your masculine energy too. And that is about creating strong foundations of support for yourself by taking by allowing yourself to flow into this energy of movement. Okay, so you've received ideas of inspiration, you've received visions of clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairsentience, and now it's time to allow yourself to receive this wave of power, this energy, to move forward with the action steps to get yourself out of this Five of Swords energy, out of that very heavy, emotional, weighted down energy that's been keeping you stuck in these energies of challenge, these relationships of conflict, and allow yourself to follow your own inner guiding light, your own inner truth, the visions, the intuitive guidance, the intuitive callings that have been guiding you towards spaces of joy, spaces of happiness, spaces of safety and divine connection that you've been seeking. Some of you as well, you may be seeking to connect with like your divine masculine. Some of you may, this keeps coming up in my last couple readings, like the twin flame path, the sacred union path. I'm seeing here that some of you may actually be on the sacred union path, but what Spirit's saying is that some of you have learned about the twin flame path, or you've learned about the sacred union path, but you haven't met your divine counterpart. And they're saying like you just keep really wanting to meet this individual. Like you're just like praying and manifesting, hoping to meet your divine masculine or divine feminine. For many of you, I feel that if you're watching your divine feminine and you're wanting to meet your divine masculine, and so you're saying to, almost like they're saying like let it go and find ways to honor the masculine within yourself. We're not going to get too much into the sacred union and twin flame path in this pick a card reading today, but the sacred union path, you know, if you are thinking that you're on this path, it is possible that you are, otherwise you wouldn't have those thoughts. But the point of this path is not to just come into physical union with another person. It's to come into union with yourself, to allow yourself to be guided by your own inner light, so then you can naturally attract and call in your divine, you know, sacred masculine or feminine being. But it's about honing and honoring and finding balance of your own individual personal masculine and feminine qualities within yourself before you're able to magnetize that sacred union in physical formation into your life. Okay, and so Spirit's really saying, if you've learned about this path and it's something that you keep looking for, you know, everywhere you go, it's not going to come to you. Let it go and allow yourself to just follow your own intuitive guidance around where you're being called to go, what you're being called to create, who you're being called to connect with. That's available to you now in this present moment. Okay, and the same message could be applied to anyone who's seeking romantic connections. You know, it's like you keep looking for the one, but Spirit's saying to just kind of have fun with where you're at right now, and don't put so much weight on, you know, like when you meet somebody new, don't put this heavy expectational weight on them of like, oh my gosh, I met somebody new and it's going great. Maybe they're the one. And it's like you've just been on one date. They're saying just let it go and, you know, just have fun with it. Just get to know them. It's not about meeting the one. They're almost saying like it's about you becoming the one. And then you'll naturally attract and magnetize the individual that you're seeking to connect with into your life. Okay, so some very strong, powerful, heavy messages coming through with these mermaid cards. Wow. Let's go ahead and pull your last card, loves. I am stunned by your messages in a good way, but some powerful energy here, pile one. Y'all are trying to do the most, and I am all for it. Yes. Just know, like, we can't solve the world's problems in a day. We can only do what we can do, and know that that's enough too. All right. All right, yes, perfect card. Okay, so we pulled a card from the self-awareness deck, and you all know I love this, and I always encourage you to journal out your answers to the question on this card just to deepen into your own intuition and receive insight from yourself on what this question is asking from you. So, are you getting enough rest to restore your energy and fully show up to your life? Are you getting enough rest? You are the asset. This body is your vehicle. Notice how your body is feeling, how much sleep you are getting, and what you can do to help your body rest. So your sole action today, take a bath, put on some lavender oils, go to bed ridiculously early, or give yourself a time out today. Notice your body thanking you. And you also have a mantra here. The more you give yourself permission to rest, the more you can contribute. So affirm this. The more I give myself permission to rest, the more I can contribute. All right, so this last oracle card here is really asking you to take a moment to rest. Okay, now you have a lot of cards with like a lot of forward momentum and things that you're trying to get done in your personal life, things that you're trying to move away from, and it can feel very busy, very overwhelming, very taxing. And specifically with the messages that came through with this masculine card here too, you know, it's like you can't solve the world's problems in just a day. You can't solve the world's problems all on your own. And so make sure that you're taking time to rest. Schedule in rest at least an hour a day, at least a couple times a week. All right. If you need to take a step back, pull away from individuals that are just constantly challenging you, creating obstacles and blocks in your life. You don't have to confront those situations head on every time that they rear their head at you. You can take a moment to pull back and to reflect and say you need a moment of rest to reflect on what it is that they're saying to you. And you can also decide to not even get back to them if it's too much. So there is also a deep energy of rest and reflection that's going to be happening for you throughout this month of April as you work to move away and disconnect from these relationships and beliefs that you're disconnecting from to help you align with these deeper truths of things that you're wanting to create, people you're wanting to connect with, experiences that you're wanting to have for yourself as you let go of those judgments that others have implicated onto you, or just judgments that you've taken on from external influence that you're cutting ties with. Okay, and so right now, pile one, throughout the month of April, you're going to be processing a lot of energy. You're cutting ties with a lot of things and you're moving into new spaces. And so it can feel heavy in its own way. Yes, it can feel very freeing, but it's almost like you're recalibrating at lightning speeds. And so whenever we go through these big shifts of transformation and transition, it's really, really important that you take time to rest and to recalibrate and to reflect on all the changes that you're moving through. So this is just your reminder to schedule and rest amongst all the changes that you are initiating into your life this month. All right, loves. So that is it for your reading, pile one. I thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up, and I would love to hear from you in the comments how this reading resonated with you. Let me know what it is that you are aligning with, what it is that you're allowing yourself to be open towards in this new journey that you're aligning with. What passions are you pursuing? What visions have you had for yourself? If you're ready to share about it, I would love to hear from you all, loves. All right, I'm wishing you a beautiful, blessed month of April. Until next time, bye, love. Hello, love. Welcome into those of you who chose pile 2. And wow, my clock reads 222 as I'm beginning your reading. Beautiful synchronicity there. So if you chose pile 2, you selected the card Confidence. All right, love. So let's see what you are going to be receiving confidence towards throughout this month of April. All right, so we are going to start off by pulling your tarot cards from the Wildwood Tarot, and then we'll get into your messages of insight and guidance to help guide you throughout the month of April. We'll see if we can get some predictions too. All right, we'll shuffle one more time. And then we'll pull your cards. All right, earrings falling off there. All right, so let's see. Does pile 2 need to know? Oh, all right, you know what? We'll take that a little. Couple extra, but we'll take them. All right, so first we have 21, the World Tree. All right, something is coming to an end, something is closing, a chapter is ending. We also have 2 of Vessels with attraction, 2 of Cups. Then we have King of Arrows with Kingfisher. I believe Arrows is Wands in this deck. And then let's see, these 4 fell out together. So we have Queen of Arrows with the Swan. And you know, I'm feeling guided to do this a little different. I'll put these up here. 6 of Vessels with Reunion. 6 of Cups. 9 of Bows with Respect. And then we've got Ace of Bows, Spark of Life. All right. I actually think I have this backwards. I think the bows are the wands and arrows are the swords. Why you have the queen and the king there? All right. So let's see what's going on here. All right. So I'm getting a message around love and relationships here, just because we have the 2 of Vessels and the Queen and King of Arrows here. And so what I'm seeing here is for many of you, you are closing the door on a connection of some sort. Specifically, it may be love and romance, because that's just so strongly being highlighted here. And for some of you, you may actually be feeling guided to move away from this connection because there could be a third party involved. There is somebody new in your life that you're wanting to connect with in a romantic sense, and you're just no longer feeling connected to this other individual that you're choosing to leave and walk away from. Now, that is going to be a very specific message for some of you. Now, on the other side of this, what I'm seeing is you are choosing to walk away from a connection or even like an experience. So maybe like a job that you really loved, or an environment that you just really loved being connected with. It's like a place or an experience that you created a lot of love around. It's not easy to close the door on whatever it is that you're being guided to close the door upon. It's not easy to walk away from this. It's not easy to accept and acknowledge that this chapter has come to an end. All right, and that's why we have the Confidence card here, though, is because this month of April, you're tapping into these deep, suppressed inner reserves that have been speaking to you through your intuition, through your subconscious. It's like you've been getting these little whispers, these little nudges that you know it's time to pick up and move forward with your life. It's time to leave this past energy in the past. It's time to leave this experience, this connection, this relationship in the past, so that you can move forward and move on to new things. I almost want to say bigger and better, but for some of you, we don't want to like place those adjectives on it, because it's not necessarily bigger or better. It's just something different. It's something new. But Spirit's saying like it can be bigger and better in the sense that you've just really outgrown the space that you're in. There's so much love and passion connected in this experience, this environment, or this connection. And there's so much energy around you resisting leaving this behind because of how much passion and love you've created in this experience. That you've developed a sense of comfortability with it, and it's familiar to you, and it's not something that you want to have to leave behind. It's not something that you want to close the door upon, but there is this sense of like stagnancy. There's this sense of a lack of growth, lack of new connections. It's just something that you've become very comfortable with, and no matter how hard you try to make this grow and ascend in some way, it just hasn't been working, and it's because you've outgrown those spaces, and your intuition has been slowly, subtly, quietly nudging at you to own this truth, to embody this confidence, to declare what's been on your mind, what's been nudging at you on an intuitive level, what's been speaking to you, where you've been feeling guided to move towards, what you've been feeling guided to move towards, and who you've been feeling guided to move towards. And for some of you, there could also be resistance here because in some ways you feel like you're being called back towards things that you felt you put to rest. Okay, so just some examples coming up. Maybe you grew up in like a specific place, like a small town or like a specific city, and when you were younger you decided to leave that town behind. You affirmed to yourself you're never going back there, you're never moving back there, but lo and behold, you're at a different space in your life, you're at a different time, and you're feeling the call to move back to that space. And even though you really love the environment, the city that you moved to, the home that you've created for yourself in this space, you just know on an intuitive level you've been getting the call to move back to this place that you grew up. You know, maybe you're reconnecting with your family, reconnecting with old friends. There's just something there that's calling you back. Then for some of you, this could be about career. All right, maybe you've been following a very specific career path for some time, or maybe even like maybe you've been a stay-at-home mom or dad, you've been staying at home taking care of the children, taking care of your home, and you never thought you'd come to a point of wanting to return to your career path. Or you know, maybe you've been on a very specific career path, and maybe deep down within you have like a childhood dream, something that you wanted to pursue since you were a child, and it just keeps nudging at you intuitively that this is the time to give yourself permission to pursue that dream, pursue this different path than the one that you've been on. And so it's sort of like this month of April, you're kind of being rerouted to go back to things that you thought you would never pick up again, or to go back into connections that you have long cut ties with environmentally and, you know, in terms of relationships with other people as well. And maybe even career paths too. You know, maybe you left a specific career path because things in the industry just were not supportive of you, or you just didn't agree with how the culture of that industry was at the time, but now things are different, things have changed, and you find yourself wanting to return because changes have been implicated, and you feel ready to come out of hiding, come out of these mental blocks that maybe you placed upon yourself from being able to align and give this old path a new chance. And so it's almost like there's that sense of hesitancy because it's something that you thought you put to rest, but it's like it's calling you back towards it. It's asking you, hey, I'm still here deep down within. Let's give this thing a chance again. There's a new spark of life that's being ignited. There's a new foundation of respect that's been initiated. You've grown a lot. You've done this deep inner healing work. And the aspect in which you're connecting with, whether it's like a past environment, a past relationship, or like a past career industry, which would fall under environment there. It has also done a lot of deep healing work and growth in and of itself. And so all the way around, there's like this new energy of life, new ways of connecting with it, and new foundations of respect that's going to create a more harmonious mutual balance for you and for the other thing that you're going to be connecting with as well, okay? All right, let's see if anything else comes up here. Spirit wants me to just talk a little bit about the symbols. So we've got the swan medicine here. So swans could be significant to somebody. I'm being reminded of the little ugly duckling. Is that the name of the story? The little ugly duckling story. So that could be significant to somebody. Somebody's like finding their sense of beauty where you felt you had none. All right, so like maybe others made fun of you for something, or others implied that you were not capable of doing something, but you're coming back around to kind of prove that energy wrong. And it's not about proving them wrong. It's not about proving yourself right. It's just that this is a calling of yours. This is a passion of yours. There's love. There's strong energy of love here. Whether it's connected to like a passion of pursuit or another person or an environment, there's just a lot of love that you're wanting to return to. But there's like this implication that, you know, maybe you didn't allow yourself to pursue these connections because of things that others had implied upon you, beliefs that you held on to about your position in relation to these experiences and connections, such as, you know, thinking that you weren't good enough, thinking that you weren't worthy of being able to do this, or not intelligent enough, blah, 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 blah. None of those are true. You have what it takes. It's time to tap into that inner confidence. It's time to recognize and realize that you keep being reminded of this path, of this person, of this environment, because it's something that you're meant to be pursuing. It's something that you're meant to be connecting with. You are meant to be following the stream of what your intuition's guiding you towards, and just allow those judgments to fall away and step into this energy of confidence, owning it. Almost like that energy, like fake it till you make it. But you don't even have to fake it, because this is something that just comes very naturally to you. It's something that once you allow yourself to start connecting with it, or to start embodying it, or to start making these decisions to connect with this individual or to move to this environment, it's just going to be very natural, and you're just going to have this like natural energy of confidence wash over you in the path that you're paving forward for yourself, and the path that you're reuniting with, and the connections that you're allowing yourself to reunite with and reconnect with. All right, this man here, he almost looks like a caveman too. So there's like this energy of like maybe somebody's studying like archaeology. I'm like hearing Neanderthals, maybe like studying something along those lines, something with Neanderthals, or even learning about like your family lineage, your family history. That could be in connection to maybe somebody moving back to like their hometown or their home city, and just kind of reconnecting with their family lines and learning their family history and genealogy. But also, you know, maybe somebody's studying like archaeology, or just studying family lineages in general, or national lineages, something along those lines. And then we also have the otters here, and then I keep getting drawn into this horse and this like elk head here. So elk, horses, swans, otters. I'm also hearing lions. So any of those animals could be significant to somebody as well. And then we've got the world tree here with the tree of life. All right, so somebody could have like tree of life jewelry or symbolism that they come across, and that could be further confirmation for somebody. All right, so let's go ahead and pull your oracle cards now. And we have this We have your spread set up a little differently, so we're just going to roll with it and see where the cards go. So we're pulling some oracle cards from the Oracle of the Mermaids. All right, so we have the unseen. Too much is hidden from you. Too much is hidden from you with number 4. Let's get one more card for pile 2. Take this one too. Okay. Okay, we have 37 visions. This also came out in pile 1's reading. Psychic images, clairvoyance, seeing, out of body travel. And we also have, wow, 13, the return of Aphrodite, temple, birth of the goddess, guidance, goddess energy, treating as sacred. Wow, so yeah, definitely love and romance is very present in your reading here. And then we've also got 4, we got 4 here, and then 13 adds up to 4. So 4s could also be significant to you. But let's see what's going on here. Okay, so pile 2, I feel here, again, there's like this energy of resistance where you're not wanting to see the truth of what has come to an end, all right? You're not wanting to transmute this energy because there's a lot of resistance to the return aspect. You're not wanting to return to the things that are calling you back. You have like a big wall that you're putting up because you're holding on to this sense of judgment from external forces, and also this judgment that you're holding over yourself. And so Spirit's really asking you to reflect on, why did you let this go in the first place? All right, whatever it is that's calling you back to it, whether it's a connection with somebody, whether it's an environment or a career path, okay, one of those 3, those are what's being highlighted here, but it could be anything, a belief system, a pattern, or like a habit. There's something that is calling you back towards it, asking you to reassess and reflect on the relationship that you share with it, asking you to reconnect with it. And so Spirit's asking you to reflect on, why did you disconnect from the relationship to this person, to this career path, to this environment in the first place? What is it that you were actually closing the door upon? And they want you to really reflect on this, maybe journal out your answers to this question, because when we ask you to reflect on that, they're saying, all the surface level things are going to come up first, okay, but there are things deeper in your subconscious that are wanting to come up and be faced and be healed. There are things that you pushed down, that you pushed away, that are connected to that energy of judgments, like that message I was getting with the story of the little ugly duckling, where, people always had something to say about your sense of worth in connection to this like environment, this belief system, this person, and you allowed yourself to kind of embody that energy, that judgment, but it's like, this is something that you always had a lot of love for, deep down within and initially, all right? It's just that over time, as you allowed yourself to, if you ever even allowed yourself to connect with and embrace with this thing, this career path, this person, this environment, there may have been other people that were involved that just didn't understand why you were connecting with these things, because it was just something that was like really different to them, and they couldn't see what you saw about this. And so eventually, it became too much. And so you wanted to leave it behind for something different, something that felt a little bit more stable, something that received more support. And, you did find a lot of love, a lot of joy, a lot of comfort in that new path, but now you're being asked to return to this thing, this person, this place that you have left behind, because there's also a lot of love there as well. Okay, but there are other things that are attached to this too that is keeping you in this energy of resistance from allowing yourself to pursue it. And so that's why we have this confidence card here to remind you that you get to choose what you believe about this path and this connection, because this thing that you're being asked to reunite with, this thing that you're being asked to create a new path with, is ultimately between you and that path or that person or that place. You know, everybody else's perspective of it, that's all it is. It's their outside perspective. They're not the ones that are actually going to be walking upon this path or actually connecting with this person or actually moving to this environment. You're the one that's going to be doing that, and you're the one that's going to be curating and building a new connection with this past thing. And you're a different person than you were than the last time you connected with this energy. And so you get to decide how you're going to show up when you decide, if you decide to move towards this past energy and reconnect with it. You're going to get to decide how you connect with it, when you connect with it, and really just decide how this relationship is going to flourish moving forward. Okay, like you get to create a whole new foundation, because this, even though this is a reunion of something from the past, you have the choice in how this is being recreated. Like you get a fresh new start. You can let all that experience, judgment, reflections, emotions of the past, you can let all of that go, because you're not who you were 5, 10, 20 years ago when you were last connected to this person, place, or career path. You're somebody completely new. And on the other end of that, like we said before, this other person, this other place, this other career path is also changed. It's completely different. It's completely new. And so that may also help you in your decision, and as you continue to move closer to this reconnection with this past thing, it may help you to just allow all the weight of that past experience to fall away and just forget that you ever connected with it before, and just kind of give yourself a brand new start and just say, like, this is the first time I'm ever familiarizing myself with this path, so let's just pretend this is the first time and take it in, you know, step by step as you move forward. And that may also help you to really tap into this energy of confidence, you know, like look at it from the lens of somebody who's really excited to start this new path, start this new connection, and learning something new, you know, like get really excited about it. Bring this energy of love to it, because you're returning to this energy of love, even if you're unable to see that it's providing you with this energy of love right now. Okay, but you're getting the visions, you're getting the callings, you're getting those intuitive nudges to move back to something, to return to something that once brought you a lot of love. It's just you may have allowed external circumstances to take that love out of the connection you shared with it, so you move towards something else that also brought you a lot of love, but now it feels a little bit stagnant, and you're wanting to return to something that is deeply, deeply loving and passionate and more in alignment with the truth of who you are now and where you're wanting to go, and what and who and where you're wanting to connect with in the future. All right, so let's go ahead and pull your last oracle card now, loves. We're going to pull one card from this deck here, the self-awareness deck. So let's see what comes through for you. Dolphins may be significant to you here. We've got the dolphin symbolism, a lot of animal symbolism. So somebody could be like someone who works with animals, or I'm even getting like you communicate with animals. Maybe even an astrologist or like a healer. because you also have the unseen and the visions here. But let's see what your card is here with the self-awareness deck. And I always encourage you to journal out your answers to this question here, okay? So where are you called to use your voice right now? Where are you called to use your voice? You have a soul script that was written to be spoken. Oh, we love that. Your story matters, and it's time for you to share it with the world. Your soul action today. Share your story with at least one person today. Be brave and speak your truth. Your voice will be the catalyst for healing in others. Yeah, you're a healer in some way. Even if you're not actively providing healing services or psychic services, you have a very strong intuition, and sometimes you just get this calling to say something to somebody, and they're just like, wow, I really need to hear that. How did you know I needed to hear that? Thank you so much. And that's your intuition, that's your connection to the divine, and your ability to show up in really beautiful, miraculous ways to help provide inspiration, confidence, love, healing, and support to other people. But I'm almost feeling now it's time to provide that gift back to yourself in allowing yourself to return to something that you have been called towards for quite some time, possibly all your life. I'm almost getting this energy of this is just an example that's coming through, but it's maybe you had a high school sweetheart, but then you went off to college and you met someone else, and even though you never felt the same spark that you felt with your high school sweetheart with this person, it was just very stable relationship. So you got married, you had children together, and then 30 years later, you decided to get divorced, go your own separate ways. Now you're deciding to move back to your hometown, and your high school sweetheart's there and they're single, and then you get back together again, and it's magic. And so that's kind of what this energy is symbolizing. It's you're returning to something that you had so much love for, but it just because of certain circumstances, you had to let it go. You had to release it from your life. But now so much time has passed. Things are different. Things are settling and unsettling in different areas of your life, that now you're able to return to that thing or person or place that you allowed to be released from your life way back when, and you get to try again. And so with this card though here, Spirit's saying because there's so much resistance to you allowing yourself to fully embrace and return to that past energy, they're offering you this guidance to open up to somebody in your life and to start speaking about this, to start talking about it out loud, because that's the first step here for you into coming into the energy of acknowledgement and into the energy of being able to process what it is that you're feeling on an intuitive level and to actualize it into something so that you can actually move forward in the physical spaces to move towards what it is that you're being called to move towards. So first, give it voice. And if you are a little bit anxious or nervous when I say that, to open up and speak to somebody about this directly first, and you haven't already journaled about it, written about it out to yourself, start there. Start by writing it. If you have already written about it and gone through it in a journal or letters to yourself, letters to God, then take the next step in speaking about what it is that you've written, and open up to a close friend or family member, or even I'm hearing a therapist or a professional mentor or healer that can help you to actualize what it is that you're feeling intuitively, and to help you work through this energy of resistance so that you can embody that confidence that you're trying to align with in this month of April, to move closer towards this reunion that you're having with this passion of yours, this love, this reconnection to something that you really love and that you want to be connecting with and that you're being called towards aligning with. Okay. All right, love. So that is it for your April reading. I thank you so much for tuning in. To those of you who chose pile 2, If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up and comment down below. Let me know what it is that you are leaving behind, what it is that you're returning to, what passion, what connection, what place are you reuniting with. I would love to hear from you all and be of support to you on this journey. I thank you so much once again. Love. I am sending you so much love and wishing you a beautiful, blessed month of April. Until next time. Bye, love. Hello, loves. Welcome into those of you who chose pile 3. So if you chose pile 3, you selected the card Compassion. Alright, love, so for today's reading, we are going to tap in and see what messages of insight and guidance you need to receive to support you throughout the month of April. And we'll also see if we can get some messages of predictions on what you can expect to be experiencing this month. So we are going to start by pulling your tarot cards just to see what's going to be happening, what you need to know, and then we will pull some oracle cards as well just to receive a bit deeper clarity. So let's see, what does pile 3 need to know? Okay, we've got the King of Pentacles. Ooh, King of Pentacles, starting out strong. Alright, let's see what else. We have, wow, Queen of Cups, court cards here. We also, let's see, these two came out together. We have the Three of Pentacles. Alright, and we have the Two of Wands. Okay, let's get one more card. You know what? This one's stuck on the table. So we have Eight of Wands. Let's see, I think I can fit one more here. It might be a little off camera, but we'll take it. We have Seven of Swords. Alright, so King of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, Three of Pentacles, Wands, and Swords. So let's see what's going on here, pile 3. Alright, loves. So what I'm seeing here is in the month of April, there's something that you're trying to get done. There's something that you're going to, like, you're trying to accomplish something very specific, and you're putting a lot of energy into making sure that everything works out okay. But I'm almost seeing that you like keep coming up upon these obstacles, and so it's like you're like there's like this very, very contradicting energy here where it's like you keep trying to move forward with something, but then you get pushback, and that pushback that you get, it's almost like you're like trying to do something and move forward with something, but then it's like you get a rejection from something or someone outside of you, or something just doesn't work, it doesn't go according to plan, and so then you like come back into yourself and you just get really down on yourself for having been rejected, or for your, you know, like the things you put into place didn't work, and so then you like keep your energy to yourself and you don't want to pick up and try again, and then, you know, maybe a few days, couple weeks pass by and you're like, okay, let's give this a go, let's try again. And so what's coming up with this here is Spirit is saying that you are, it's like you keep moving into action before really reflecting on what the best path forward is. And so they're really saying to take a step back and to just allow yourself to rest and to reflect and to meditate on how you can best move forward with this energy, with what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Because the way you keep going about it, it's almost like you keep trying to do the same things and then keep getting the same results. It's just not working. But with the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups here, Spirit's really saying like you have everything you need to make this work, and you know you do, otherwise you wouldn't keep trying at it. It's just you have to take a step back and allow yourself to zoom out and look at this from a different perspective. It's like she's got the Two of Wands here, but look, like one wand is behind her back. She keeps holding this one. She keeps setting this one down, and then when she comes back to the crossroads, she just keeps going down this same path. And she's just forgetting that there's this other path here that she could be taking. And so that's kind of the energy that you're in, is you just keep forgetting that there are other options, other pathways to you being able to achieve the results that you're trying to achieve in whatever it is that you're trying to make happen for yourself. Okay. Now with this compassion card here, it seems like there's this energy of wanting to rush the results, wanting to rush what it is that you're trying to accomplish, instead of like, because of all the setbacks that you've received, because of all the rejection that you received, because of all the times that it didn't work out. And so it's almost like when you come into that energy of yourself, like you just really get down on yourself because things haven't been working out, because you keep getting rejected, you forget to provide yourself with a sense of compassion. And so this is just your reminder to also be compassionate to yourself when you come into the revelations and the realizations that there are other ways, there are other pathways for you to move forward and achieve the results of what it is that you're trying to achieve. It doesn't just have to be this one way. It doesn't just have to be this one thing. Another thing that's coming up here is you don't have to do it all on your own. There are other people out there who are skilled, who have knowledge and wisdom in what it is that you're trying to make happen. Like, yes, a king and a queen sits on their own individual thrones, but look, they've got the queen and king sitting right next to each other, and they also have a castle filled with people of intelligence, filled with different skills, and they are allowing them to help them make the decisions that they make for the sanctity of their castle and their lands. And so just like the king and queen, you are not alone in this journey. And there are other people, other individuals who can help you with what it is that you're trying to accomplish. You just have to let your guard down, stop holding your sword so close to yourself, and allow them to come in and offer you a third, fourth, fifth party perspective, insight, and advice as to how you can make this happen without constantly going down the same path just to get the same results that you're getting. Okay. All right, love. So your message is very, very clear here. Let's see if we can get anything else from your cards. So I do feel that this is something that it may sort of be on repeat for you throughout the month of April. So hopefully if you're tuning in, you can take this guidance and prevent yourself from constantly, coming up on those same roadblocks, and are able to zoom out before you constantly keep going into that energy of rejection and struggle and conflict, and able to, ask others for their insight and input, or to just be able to look at the situation from a different lens and to try something else. So another message that was coming in around you zooming out and looking at this situation from a different perspective is to also kind of throw everything out the window. Like, pretend that you're starting over from ground zero, and the ways that you've been doing this is something that you cannot go back to. Like, that is off the table. You've already tried it. What else can you try? All right. So let's see if Spirit can give me some examples. So I'm going to use the example of like a job here. So say maybe you have lost your job and you keep putting in application after application after application, and you just keep getting rejected. You cannot submit applications anymore. How else are you going to find a job? Go out and talk to people. Tell people, hey, I need a job. Are you hiring? Maybe starting your own little side hustle or business. Okay, there are different routes you can take to getting a job than just putting in application after application after application. Okay, loves. So something like that. Okay, but I feel that it's more convoluted than that. This is going to be very specific projects. Maybe even dating or like trying to connect with other people. Something with like finances and money though, because we have the Pentacles here. Maybe also like trying to find a house. Maybe you're putting in applications to get a house. They keep getting denied, rejected. Somebody keeps like, you know, making higher bids than you're making, and so you're unable to receive those offers back or get the acceptance letters from them. And so Spirit's saying, you know, try something different. How else can you get a house other than just putting in these applications? There are other pathways to you receiving or accomplishing what it is that you're trying to receive and accomplish. But again, this is like this is different energy. It's like something very specific, a project you're working on, something you're trying to create, or somebody or something that you're trying to connect with in some way. All right, I'm really, really drawn to like this M on the Three of Pentacles here. It almost reminds me of the fast food chain that's all across the globe. So that could be significant to somebody. Yeah, we also have like the world here. So something with like traveling. Oh, also the globe here too. So I haven't done Pile 4's reading yet, but that their card selection was travel. So if you were torn between 3 and 4, maybe you want to check out 4's reading as well. It could be significant to some of you who might be trying to travel. So some of you could also be like trying to get into a position of travel. So like maybe wanting to travel for work, or maybe applying for jobs like internationally so that you can work overseas. Maybe you're trying to become a citizen in another country. And it's just like something that you're doing is not working, it's not getting you there. And so Spirit's saying to get creative, ask for help, ask for guidance from people who have done these things before, who have knowledge in what it is that you're trying to do, because they can offer you insight and perspective on how to actually make this work, how to actually get you there, and to get the acceptance that you're seeking, or to get the results that you're seeking. All right, so let's go ahead and pull your oracle cards. Let's see, what else does pile 3 need to know? We're pulling from the Oracle of the Mermaids. All right, let's get one more. All right, so we have air, breathing deep, entering into life, exchange of life-bringing energies with number 26. And then we have 32 with conchomancy, seashell divination, wisdom of shells. And we have 35, the crane bag, sacred ocean medicine, clutter, declutter, and choice. Oops, okay. Okay, so with the air card here, you could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or you could be guided to connect with an air sign. Maybe an air sign has intuitive wisdom in what it is that you're trying to connect with, specifically getting Gemini, or you could just be connecting with it like an air sign in general. All right, let's see what's going on with these cards here. Okay, I see it here. Okay, pile 3. So again, you're being guided to step back and reflect through meditation. Meditate. Okay, you keep rushing into this. Like even though I said when you rush through something, or you rush to get something done, and then you get hit back with those energies of rejection, or it just didn't work, there's like another challenge or obstacle to overcome, even though you go into that brief period of keeping things very close to yourself because you were rejected or because it didn't work, you're not genuinely reflecting on how to make it work. You're just processing the emotional energy or the mental stimulation of having received that rejection, and you're not inviting in that energy of compassion. You're just kind of in that energy of sulking because it didn't work out, because you didn't get accepted. And so Spirit saying we have to invite in that energy of compassion. Just because it didn't work out doesn't mean it's never going to work out. It just means that you're not allowing yourself to look at the bigger picture. You just keep trying to do the same thing over and over, and you're like rushing through it. But there's another path. There is another way that is available to you, but it's going to require you to allow yourself to invite in this energy of compassion, and to also invite in this energy of truth and recognition that you are not alone on this journey, and that there are other individuals that are available to help you through whatever it is that you are trying to achieve or receive or get accepted towards, okay? But part of this is that you're also not really reflecting on how to make this work. You're just like, okay, it didn't work. Let me be sad about it. And then you're like, okay, let's just try again. Let's just try it again. I need to get this done tomorrow. And then it doesn't work again because there was no period of reflection and contemplation over why it didn't work and how you can actually get it to work in like trying different things. And so Spirit is heavily recommending to you to meditate. Give yourself permission to take a day or two off from whatever it is that you are trying to force to happen for you, because there's this need to recognize that it's not working. It is not working the way that you're imagining it's going to work. It's just not. How long have you been trying? How long have you been trying to make this work? It's not working in the ways that you're trying to get it to work. And so Spirit's saying, take a day off. Take 2-3 days off. A week if you can. All right, but I feel like you cringe up when I say that because you're trying to rush and get this done tomorrow. It seems so urgent to you. But it's going to continue to not work because you're not making space for reflection, compassion, and invitation of allowing others to help you through this. And so Spirit's saying to allow yourself to surrender whatever it is that you're trying to force here. And in that time of surrender, to just be in meditation, do something different, bring your focus to something different, and allow the insight, allow the other path to reveal itself to you through the time that you're allowing yourself to be in this space of meditation. Okay, so Spirit's recommending that you go out and do something different. Just go out and do something fun for the day. Anything that invites in this energy of play, energy of fun, energy of connection with other people. Also, they're recommending to, declutter, clean up some things, free up some space in your home. Maybe you haven't taken the trash out for a couple days. Take the trash out. Maybe the dishes are piling up in the sink. Go clean those dishes. All right, maybe you've got some items in your closet from like ex-partners, exes that you need to clean out, you need to throw away, you need to give back to them. Maybe you got some clothes that have tons of holes in them and you just haven't thrown them away. You need to go clean it out, clean out the clutter, clean out the old energy, clean it out, throw it away. Get it out of your home. All right, get it out of your office space, old documents, old files. Maybe you've got documents on documents piling up on your computer and you need to go clean it out, put it into folders, delete those files. And Spirit's actually coming in and they're saying through this process of you cleaning out those things, the answer is going to naturally reveal itself to you. So through you coming into a space of meditation with yourself, decluttering, going out and playing and doing something fun, focusing on something different, the answer is going to come in. And then again, Spirit's just really reiterating that there's this need to get connected with other people and to open up to them about where it is you're having these struggles and having these obstacles come onto your path and prevent you from having the results that you're trying to achieve, because they will be able to offer you insight and advice and guidance on how you can actually make this happen for yourself and your path moving forward. Okay, so you have a lot of homework this month, pile 3. Usually we don't give so much guidance of homework and practice, but you know, there's a lot of things that you're going to have to work at this month, because you've been so mono-focused on this one thing, this one aspect. But Spirit's saying this month it's not going to work until you take a step back and come back to yourself, provide yourself with a sense of love and compassion, and understanding that it's just not working the way that it's working. All right, so your last card here says, are you willing? All right, interesting. Are you willing? You're trying to will something, all right? Let's see what this says. You are on the edge of something great. Can you feel it? Yes, there is risk, uncertainty, and imperfections ahead. Failure is certain, and vulnerability is a requirement. You must be brave and trust yourself more than ever before. You will reach the dream, but you must stretch yourself into a whole new level of belief and willingness in order to move forward with courage. Your sole action for today: be brave, follow your heart's compass, and lift the lid on your own dreams. Your mantra today: it's possible. All right, so we're getting quite a few messages with this. 1, this is what you're trying to achieve. You're trying to achieve the impossible. It's just that the way you're trying to achieve this is what's not working. And I'm also getting this message that there is some energy collected in your subconscious that is preventing you from being able to achieve this. Do you believe in what it is that you're trying to move forward with? Mind, body, spirit, soul. Or do you have some doubt in there? And if the answer is yes, you need to go in and clean it out. And it's through that energy of meditation, through that energy of decluttering, that you'll be able to come into this energy of compassion and truth and acceptance that you do have what it takes to make this work. You already know you do. Otherwise, you wouldn't keep trying again and again and again, even though you keep getting that pushback. It's just that there are some things that we need to clear out in the subconscious, maybe in the physical as well. There are also some things that you need to invite in: compassion, connection with other people who can offer you insight and wisdom on what it is that you're trying to achieve, what it is that you're trying to receive. Again, you can't do this on your own. That's why it's not working. It's like you're trying to do this all on your own. And for some of you too, it's like you could have like role models that you're looking up to, or people that you're kind of trying to become like, but you're trying to do it on your own. And Spirit's like, the answer's right in front of you. If you're trying to get to a state that somebody else is already in, why not reach out to them and ask them how they did it? Why not reach out to them and ask them for advice and guidance on how to get to that space, on how to get to that level? Okay, so you know that you're willing. I feel that this is just confirmation for you and a reminder that, you know, it is possible. And the setback, one, it lies in your subconscious belief, but it also lies in all that energy that we talked about, where you're needing to just take a step back and really allow yourself to reflect, allow yourself to rest, allow yourself to meditate, receive divine insight, and to also just focus on some other things that are going on in your life, such as taking care of your home, taking care of yourself, and connecting with people that are in your social circles and your network circles, all right, and inviting them in and letting them know what's going on and letting them know what it is that you're trying to achieve, what it is that you're trying to make happen for yourself. You are not alone in this, all right? But it is possible. It is happening. You already know that. That's why you keep trying at it. So that's why Spirit has so much homework for you, is because they're trying to help you see where the missing pieces are to what it is that you're trying to make happen. All right, loves. So that is it for your reading today, pile 3. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up and comment down below. Let me know what it is that you keep trying to force. What is it that you're trying to make happen? Maybe somebody in the comments can help give you a little bit of guidance, support. Maybe they've been through this and they can help offer some guidance, insight, support to you along this path and what it is that you're trying to make happen. And if I have some extra guidance of support, I'll offer it as well. All right, love. So I'm sending you so much love and I'm wishing you a beautiful, blessed month of April. Until next time. Bye, love. Hello, loves. Welcome into your reading to those of you who chose pile 4. So if you chose pile 4, you chose the card Travel. All right, love, so for your reading today, we are tapping in to see what messages of guidance and insight you need to receive to help you as you work through the month of April. And we're also going to set the intention to see if we can get some predictions just for things that you might experience throughout this month as well. All right, so it looks like you might be traveling somewhere or moving to new horizons. But let's see, we're going to pull your tarot cards and then we will pull some oracle cards in a little bit as well, just to get some deeper clarity and insight on what you can expect throughout your reading. So we're using the Cozy Witch Tarot today. Let's see what we have here. We have 8 strength. It takes great strength to be soft. All right. We also have Knight of Swords. Be ambitious. Chase your every dream. We've got the King of Wands. Shine your inner candlelight bright enough for others to follow. All right, we have 10, the Good Luck Charm. This is the Wheel of Fortune in traditional tarot. If nothing seems to be going your way, cast a spell. And we also have Ace of Pentacles. Wow, what an abundant opportunity. Okay, every single one of your cards, aside from the Strength card, is representing a new beginning. All right, moving to something new, a new horizon here. And as I talked about in the astrology update, the beginning of the reading, we are in a portal right now where every single planet is moving direct. We have no retrogrades right now, so this is the perfect time to move forward with action-based energy, which will help to align you with a whole new path that is going to be creating a foundation for what you can expect to experience and be connecting with over the next 7 to 8 years. Or I think we said like 5 to 6, 7 to 8 years. And we're also in Aries season, which represents the beginning of the astrological new year. So all around, also spring season if you're in the northern hemisphere. So all around, there is a potency of new beginnings, fresh seeds being planted, but not just like flower seeds that take a couple weeks to months to grow. We are planting whole tree seeds that take 7 to 8 to 9 years to grow, okay? So you are planting seeds here of complete new beginnings, aligning with a complete new path that's going to set the foundation, the landscape for a sense of security and comfortability and connection for what you're envisioning for yourself over the next few years. So let's see if we can go a little deeper here, because really your cards are really just saying like, go for it. Go for it. You already know what it is that you want to go for. Go for it. What are you waiting for? Like, the energy is perfect. All right, some of you, I'm noticing, this card comes out so often when I use this deck, and I'm just now noticing her shirt says book blogger. So some of you may be wanting to start a blog or even write a book. All right, so go for it. What are you waiting for? This is the perfect time to get started with that. The energy is here. It's present. It's waiting for you to get started. All right, let's see what else. This new beginning that you're wanting to start or initiate, and not just wanting to, but like you're actually doing it. It is connected to creating a foundation of security in some way, because we have this Ace of Pentacles here representing the energy of finance, money, home life, environment, things of physical support. Okay, so maybe even like a car, or even like, you know, like furniture. So this could also be connected to, I talked about this in the astrology report as well, like physical things of appearance. So like furniture is what I'm seeing. So like maybe you're wanting to invest in like new pieces of furniture, like getting a new bed, getting new couches, getting new like interior decor, means of support for your car, like comfortable seat covers or cushions that, you know, just help you feel a little bit more comfortable in these spaces that you're in every single day, and create this like sense of security when you're, you know, you're in your spaces of comfort. It's like creating an elevated sense of security and support, because you're like bringing in this new energy of physical support through the things that you're actually physically sitting on or sleeping on or just spending your time connecting with. And then we did talk a little bit about this in the astrology report around the aspect of the appearance of it. And so if you didn't listen to the astrology report, it's like really being reiterated in your reading. And you're the last reading of the day for this pick a card pile. So I am far away from the astrology report. Spirit's circling back around to it. We did not like talk about this in the other three piles either. But it's really being highlighted in your reading here, where like the appearance of the means of what it is that you're inviting into your life through this sense of comfort is also being highlighted. So maybe you're like going to be like redecorating your home with things that just create this sense of excitement that's like appealing to you from an aesthetic point of view, where it's like things that you like when you walk into your home, you just really get excited to see what you've designed, what you've created, from like an artistic lens and an aesthetic lens. Like it just feels really good to your vision, and to also like your energetic and physical body to walk into these spaces, because you've brought in these new pieces of furniture that offer a sense of, you know, comfortable support, that physical comfort support, but also that visual support as well. So really unique, beautiful message for you here, pile 4. That's more of like the energy of prediction there, of something that you might be helping, like something that you might be inviting in to help you initiate and set the landscape, set the foundation for this whole new beginning that you're initiating in some other aspect of your life. So it's like recreating your environments to be physically appealing, physically comfortable, physically supportive, so that way when you're initiating this new energy in some other aspect of your life, such as through your career, through a relationship, maybe through an environment situation as well, through a creative path that you're pursuing, you know, you have this level of comfort and physical support and aesthetically pleasing energy to kind of fall back on, and to remind you of, you know, just how supported you are in the physical spaces, so that you can focus on the other things that you're trying to create and initiate in your life over the next 7 to 8 to 9 years. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Let's see if anything else comes through here. Your message is just like new beginnings, and like, so Spirit's saying like, you know what these new beginnings are. Like, you know what they are because you've been working to align yourself with these new beginnings. Like, you've tossed out the old and you're ready to invite in the new. Like, you took all your furniture, out, and you're ready for this whole new beginning. You're ready to refurnish, get new colors on the wall, get new couches. All right, so we have 4 of Pentacles. Treat yourself to something shiny every now and again. We also have Page of Cups. Let yourself be continually surprised by this thing called life. And then Queen of Wands. Replace your self-doubt with self-confidence. Yeah, it's like you're finally okay, so there's this other message coming in now where you're finally able to see things in a whole new perspective, but it's like in like maybe you were in this energy, like here it says replace your self-doubt with self-confidence, where like you were once in this energy of really doubting yourself, not allowing yourself to feel safe, not allowing yourself to feel supported, you know, just allowing yourself to like stay in spaces that had like ugly colors on the wall and just people that didn't support you, didn't believe in you. And now you've like tossed all that out. You know, like you've taken all that old crusty furniture to the dump. You've disconnected from people who didn't support you. You've disconnected from like the job that didn't bring you joy, you know, whatever it is that you've disconnected from. It created this energy of self-doubt, of just like a staleness. Like there was just this stale energy to it, and you've tossed it out and you've disconnected from it, and now you're able to like see. So with the Four of Pentacles, this card's usually about where we have like, you know, these options in front of us, but we keep missing the one that we actually really want to connect with. But it's like you're no longer missing that. You've grabbed onto it, and you know who you are, you know what you're worth, you know what you want to be experiencing, you know how you want to decorate your life as a whole, and you're moving forward with it. You're not only making the plans, you're not only envisioning it, you're actually following it up with those physical action steps, and also the embodiment of what that means, what that signifies to you, tapping into that inner strength, tapping into that inner truth, and allowing yourself to receive it all and to manifest it all and to create it all in your external life, in your external world as well, okay? All right, so something else that's coming up with the Page of Cups on the travel card here is you could be traveling to like the coast, going on a vacation to like an island resort or a beach resort. Yeah, like going on an island resort, island retreat, maybe a retreat, something like that. All right, so let's go ahead and pull your next few cards. You're going to pull some oracle cards from the Mermaid of the Oracles. All right, which further implies that beach ocean energy there. That was a good segue. All right, so let's see what the mermaids want to share with pile 4. All right, so we have 41, sisterhood, friendship, allies, compatible souls, loyalty, joy, and delight. We also have 22 with divine sensuality, making love, and erotica. And I actually have 333 on my clock right now. So 2s and 3s may be significant to you. All right, we also have 45 here with Imrama. Wonder, voyage, crossing deep waters, pilgrimage, journey of the soul. Yeah, you're journeying somewhere completely new, moving into new spaces. And it's like, it's almost like, you know, you're really creating a whole new world for yourself, like mind, body, spirit, soul. Like you've done this deep inner work to unravel any subconscious beliefs of self-doubt and lack, and now you're completely embodying this energy of support, possibility, joy, love, sensuality, strength. Like you were once in this energy of like, that's never going to happen for me, to, and now reclaiming it and turning it around to, I can do that. I can make this happen for me. And it's happening right now. It's not a matter of like, it's never going to happen. It's more like a matter of, it's happening. It's happening right now. When is it going to happen? It's already happening for you. And so you've done a whole rewrite on your life as a whole. You've gone into the depths of your soul, the depths of your subconscious beliefs, and you've rewritten them completely. And now you're beginning to implement all that you've learned on that journey and you're recreating a whole new world for yourself. And for some of you, you're starting with the physical aspects, like we talked about, like with the redecoration of your home, but that is naturally going to trickle out into other aspects of your life, into your relationships, into how you present yourself to others, how you present yourself to yourself and to others and to your environments, how you show up in these connections with others. It's going to trickle out into all other aspects of your life, and you're going to be able to invite in and connect with the types of connections, the sisterhoods, the brotherhoods that you actually want to be connecting with. Okay, so for some of you too, like I think I shared, there are some like communities or connections, relationships that you have, disconnected from. Like you've already disconnected from that old crusty stale energy that we talked about, and now you're in this space of inviting in the new, inviting in what you actually want to be experiencing for the next 7 to 8 to 9 to 10 years. And so you're trying to seek out those communities of connection and support, and creating the environments that you actually want to be in, that you're going to find comfort in, that you're going to find creative inspiration in, that you're going to find this energy of being able to embody your true sense of sensuality. This is very much like the Queen of Pentacles or Queen of Wands card that we had there, where you're just completely embodying your self-confidence, your truth, and owning it 100%. And this is naturally going to magnetize the energy of the bonds that you want to magnetize into your life, and the experiences that you want to magnetize into your life and call into your life and be connecting with. But Spirit is coming in and they're saying too, you have to move forward with those action steps and actually, implicating and applying the insight that you've received to rewrite this path moving forward. All right, like Spirit can give you the canoe and the paddle, but you actually have to push it into the water and row yourself to that space that you're wanting to go to. Okay, so just like here, if you're wanting to start a blog, have you registered? Have you made that account yet? Have you started writing the articles for it? Just get started. It's okay to just start with where you're at now, just as long as you get started and start taking those steps to get yourself there. All right, you've already thrown out the old furniture. Have you started to go looking and go shopping at all the stores to see what it is that you want to replace those things that you've thrown out with? You've cleared all the things off your wall so you can paint them again. All right, have you cleared all the things off your wall yet? If not, that's the first step. And then once you've cleared it all out, you got to go to the store and you got to pick up the color paint that you want. Okay, so you have the tools, you have the means to start taking those action steps to inviting in this whole new world that you're rewriting for yourself. All right, so really beautiful, exciting energy that you're inviting in here. And Spirit's coming in and they're saying, you're ready for this. This is something that you've been prepared for. But for some of you, if there is any little last hiccups of hesitancy here, it could be because this is all so new. All right. But I mean, it's so subtle. Like if there's any hesitancy there, you're already doing the work to clear it out because of that Queen of Wands card. Wow, I keep putting it on the bottom there. Wait, where did it go? Oh, I guess I put it back in the middle of the deck. Sorry there, loves. I put it away. But it says, clearing out that self-doubt and replacing it with self-confidence. So if there is any like little lingering bits of self-doubt, it could be because like you're finally stepping into the water, you're finally pushing the boat into the water, and it can be a little bit scary to actually, allow yourself to cross the threshold into this whole new life, because for you, there's no going back. Once you cross into the water, the beach is going to be gone. You're going to lose your way from where you were coming from. Once you put that paint on the wall, there's no going back. You can't find that old color again. You're stuck with this new color. Of course, you can change it again to a totally different color in the future, but Spirit's saying, metaphorically, there is no going back, and literally too, there's no going back. Once you fully tap into that energy of self-confidence and trust in yourself and embody the truth of who you are and the path that you want to experience moving forward, There's no going back. Once you develop these bonds of sisterhood that you've been dreaming of connecting with, that you've been trying to align yourself to connect with, there's no going back to those old connections that didn't support you, that didn't align with you. All right, so those little bits of self-doubt, lingering bits of self-doubt, they're going to vanish the second you push that boat into the water. Okay, so push it out, you've got this. And look at this, this is your card that fell out of the deck. What risk can you take today? What risk can you take today? It's time, love. Also, journal out your answer to this question here, all right? But let's read the back. Be not mistaken, you will have to take bigger risks than you ever thought possible on this path towards your dreams. You will have to take the big, scary leap, but do not fret, because your soul has wings. And you already know this. This is what you've been preparing for, and this is where you're at right now. It's time to take that leap. So your soul action today, what risk can you take to move towards your dreams? Make a decision and do it. No more thinking, only doing. Be brave and courageous, and you will discover what you are really made of. There you go, love. I'm not going to interpret that. I'm going to leave it there for you. You will have to take the big scary leap, but do not fret, because your soul has wings. What risk can you take to move towards your dreams? Make a decision and do it. No more thinking, only doing. Be brave and courageous, and you will discover what you are really made of. You've got this, love. This is what you've been preparing for. You're already there. It's time to jump in. It's time to jump in and see where you land. See where it takes you. You know it's good. You know it's abundant. You know it's supportive. You know it's allowing you to embody the truth of who you are, mind, body, spirit. It's time to jump in. You've got this. All right, loves, that is it for your reading today. I thank you so much for allowing me to deliver this beautiful message of insight for you. Thank you so much, love. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up and comment down below. Let me know what kind of new furniture you're getting for your home. All right, let me know what new journey you're starting upon, what tree seeds you are planting. All right, loves. I would love to hear from you on what this new journey means to you and where it's taking you. I'm so excited for you, loves. I'm wishing you a beautiful, blessed month of April. Until next time. Bye, love.